No.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jay Culkin. I am the medical director and founder of WIFH in Atlanta, Georgia. And today we're going to talk about what is becoming so popular, and that is the non-invasive fat reduction technology that's out there. You're hearing about it everywhere, you're reading about it, you almost can't miss it. At WIFH, we offer a procedure called SculpSure. We were actually the first in Georgia to offer this because of our long history of doing smart lipo procedures. SculpSure is a non-invasive fat removal technology that actually melts fat through the skin, destroying fat cells. And we can destroy up to 24% of fat cells at one treatment, which takes about 25 minutes. Well, the other technology that's out there is called cryolysis. One maybe that you're familiar with, you see advertised, is CoolSculpting. CoolSculpting destroys fat cells through a cooling process. And there are many differences between the two technologies that we often see. People will tell us that the cooling technique may be more painful than the heating SculpSure technique. We're seeing some what are called paradoxical reactions to the cooling technique, where people can actually rarely get larger from having that procedure. But what's really important with these non-invasive techniques is that the patient really needs to be evaluated so we can determine if we think that one technology is good or not for every individual. For instance, very thin people, I prefer smart lipo to SculpSure. Why? Because it takes 3 months for a treatment to show its effect, and for very small people, they may not notice enough difference for them to be pleased. The flip side to that is medium people up to a BMI of 30, they reduce very nicely with SculpSure. Now, why did we choose to offer SculpSure at WIFH and not freezing technologies? Simply because we see a lot of people who have had freezing technologies with suboptimal results. They're just not happy. So we looked at this very carefully over a 5-year period and understand that these technologies will improve over time, but as we sit here today, we're very much SculpSure fans. A few notes here that I made to myself because we get so many questions about these technologies. Does it hurt? Well, you know, it's so interesting. When we do SculpSure on people, we get different reactions. Some people, most people are, oh, that's no big deal. Get a couple of people that'll say, oh my goodness, that's really hot. And then you'll get, most people are like, yeah, I feel it, but this is okay. What they like about the non-invasive technology is when they're finished here in the office, they get up, they leave, they go back to work, they go to the gym, they go where they want. But what we also like you to know is that we tell our patients to expect to do 2 sessions of SculpSure at about 2.5 to 3 month intervals. And we have found that that has done very well. There are others that are doing more than 2 sessions, what we call treat to complete. And it's really a very personal preference, and it depends what our patients' goals are. Is there such a thing as a best non-invasive technology? We think so. We do. After 2 years of experience and hearing patients coming to us from different places having different procedures, yeah, we're very much SculpSure fans. If you have questions, by the way, feel free to submit them. My assistant Lindsay is here, and she'll pass them on to me, and we'll be happy to get those answered for you. So if we're doing SculpSure on an abdomen, let me get my frames because I can explain how the procedure is done. We would actually put these 4 frames on the upper part of the abdomen and treat that area for 25 minutes. We would put this on the lower abdomen, treat for 25 minutes. On occasion, we will also treat the sides, or we'll treat the flanks with a few of these applicators on each side. Now the laser snaps in to the applicator. And each series of 4 can be done in 25 minutes. So inner thigh, we might do 2 or 3 on each side. And if I'm doing 2 here and 2 here, I can treat both inner thighs in 25 minutes. Similarly, the outer thigh, the flank, the upper back or bra fat area. What I'm happy to say is that in the 2 years, almost 2 years, that we have been using SculpSure, we've seen 0 problems from it. Our patients have been literally complication-free, other than, I think we did see 1 irritation of a tattoo that was under an applicator. So we have to watch for possibly people who have ink in the lead in their artistic tattoos. But otherwise, I think that as we're gaining more and more experience with these technologies, we can help guide people better than we could 1 and 2 years ago to these procedures. Have we had any questions?
Not yet.
One question about the type of technology. The CoolSculpting is a freezing device that gets a temperature down to 4 degrees Celsius, whereas the SculpSure device, a diode laser, which takes the temperature up to 110 degrees Fahrenheit. So, you know, one very cold, one very hot, both designed to destroy fat cells. And the nice thing that we have found is that with the SculpSure technology, with the heating technology, we are not hearing about any of the issues that we are hearing about with the freezing technologies.
What are reasonable expectations from a non-invasive fat
So
reduction
that's
therapy?
a great question. We get that all the time, a reasonable expectation. And, you know, when we're doing, let's take an abdomen, for instance. When we're doing an abdomen, and I'm doing smart lipo on someone, I can generally get a 2-size reduction in that area. And with the non-invasive technologies, maybe about a 1-size reduction.
And is that with 2 treatments?
And that's with 2 treatments, but the question still on the table is, well, what if we did 3? And what if we did 4? But at some point, then we have to consider the cost, because the cost does add up. And so smart lipo may become a more cost-effective procedure, but it is associated with more discomfort, some downtime, even though it's minimally invasive. You know, patients from smart lipo, they do it Friday, they're back at work on Monday, but they're sore, and it's a different experience than the SculpSure technology.
Safe for all skin types?
Totally safe for all skin types. We've done skin types very, very light to very, very dark. No issue whatsoever for the technology, for SculpSure.
Do you see people who come to you after having CoolSculpting and gotten bigger?
The answer is yes. The people that have come to us, and we've now had several that have come to us with this condition that's referred to as paradoxical adipose hyperplasia. We've actually operated on a few of these people. And this is an unexplained phenomena that for some reason causes these fat cells to expand after the cryolysis, the cooling technologies. I don't think we have a good understanding of it. We've actually had 2 women friends who went at the same time, and it happened to both of them. So I think the incidence is a bit higher than is reported, but I don't know this yet, and I think we'll have to wait and see. But it is a rare complication, but it is one that we are seeing.
And when do people start to see changes?
People start to see changes from SculpSure, I like to say 10 to 12 weeks. It takes about 6 weeks for the damaged cell to be destroyed, and then it takes time for the inflammation to come down so that you can see the improvement. I always caution our patients, don't draw conclusions until you've seen your before and after photos. Why? Because we all forget what we looked like 3 months ago. You're looking at your body every day in the mirror, so I think that is so important. You know, back when we first started doing smart lipo, if I got a phone call that said my patient was not happy with their results, that was very upsetting because we want everybody to be happy. And we realized that when we then took the after pictures, put them side by side, our patients forgot what they looked like a few months ago. So always, always get a before and after photo. And do we have any more questions that have come? Well, thank you so much for spending time with us. I invite everyone to our website, WIFH.com. Take a look at the SculpSure section. Take a look at the Smart Lipo section. Certainly, if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you another time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.